What's going on, guys? So today we're talking about the Taggedout from Benchmade, which I know that's super annoying. Obviously it's tagged out, right? Sometimes when I'm making the videos, well, not sometimes, every time I'm making the video, I'm looking at a tiny little box, you know, my camcorder screen. I'm like 2 feet away from the actual screen, which is like, I don't know, 3 feet away from the actual product. So when I'm reading things, sometimes I don't, it doesn't register. Plus, you guys know I just don't pronounce anything right. So yeah, it's tagged out, but I guess because it was all together and I didn't see a separation, my brain didn't register. It's just 2 words together. Tagged out. Okay, I know. You guys give me crap for that. That's okay. So anyway, I had the small one, which I really fell in love with. I actually really dig this knife. In fact, I like it, I want to say better than a bug out. The problem with that is that these are 154, and believe me, there is nothing wrong with 154, but the bug out is just offered in some better steel options. So as far as performance goes, yeah, I guess it's, you know, it's going to be slightly better. But I just really dig the clip point. It's just so incredibly light. Like what you would love about the bug out, you would like about this, right? Now the orange, of course, is going to be hit or miss. Some people are going to like the orange, some people aren't. I think these came, I don't know if it's the large size or not, but I think there was an orange blade, which I'm totally just, nah, no thanks for that. But that's personal preference. But yeah, I mean, I really love this knife. I think it's fantastic. It is ridiculously sharp because of the thin stock on here. And again, the 154 is just, it's phenomenal. It's CPM 154, which is different than 154 CM. All right, it is a fantastic blade steel. Now, all that being said, you see another one in the background. So I was contacted soon after the video, and someone said, hey, I got the larger version, and it's too big. I don't really like it. I think I dig the small one. You want to trade? Sure. Yep. So that's what I did. I got the trade. I just got this in the mail now. I dig it even more because of my hand size. I do get a full, you know, 5-finger grip. Well, 4-finger, I guess you'd say, because your thumb's always going to be, you're always going to have room for a thumb, right? But yeah, I mean, in comparison, it's perfect for my hands, so I think it's going to work out better. There's nothing wrong with the smaller one. I deal with a lot of smaller knives like this, and I'm just kind of used to it. But I mean, if I just put them on, you know, next to each other like this, you can see how much different it really is. Just bigger. That's just what it is. And of course, it's going to depend on not only your hand size, but preference. You might have bigger hands, but like smaller knives just because how they fit in the pocket or whatever, you know. But yeah, no, I totally dig the bigger one. It's just more blade there. It's just more to hold on to. What's not to like about a bigger knife? At least for me, it's going to be perfect. So I do appreciate the trade. This one's going to get packed up right after this video and shipped out to this new owner. But yeah, I really dig the big one. Now, what's the price difference on these? You think, wow, this is bigger, it's more blade, more everything, right? It's got to be more expensive. It is, but at least on BladeHQ, it's a $9 difference. $9 to get the larger size, right? Or you save $9 to get the smaller one, however you look at it. But yeah, for XL size gloves, chunky, wide fingers, you know, this thing is just, I like this so much. Like I said, it's not bad at all. You can see my grip here. I have like a half a pinky on there. Just naturally, if I kind of choke down a little bit on there, I get the pinky behind it, which is not bad. With smaller knives, I don't mind this grip too much either because my pinky is keeping it from pushing into my hand. Does that make sense? So like if I'm putting any kind of pressure this way, it's actually keeping it from moving. Not that that's a huge deal or anything, but I'm saying it's not uncomfortable. Now it is a deep concealed clip on here, so with the smaller one, I do feel it a little more than the big one. With the big one here, I feel it's just a different area, so it's just not as uncomfortable. Although this is not horrible, with harder use, you would feel it. This one, you just feel it less. So for me, the larger one is definitely it. I'm just really happy. I'm happy with the trade here. They really are fantastic knives. I'm curious how many people out there, you know, have these and have been enjoying them. Let me know. Let me know what you think of them. But I love everything about it. The 2 things that stand out the most is I love the looks. Again, the orange, it could be anything. It could be any color. That wouldn't matter too much. I like the clip point blade in a satin finish. Is just awesome. It really is just a sexy looking knife. I do like the thumb slot on here. The axis lock on both of these are nice and smooth. So no issues there. This person had this. It's basically brand new, they said, which I definitely agree with. It is brand new. I got rid of the box. They liked the box, so they kept theirs, which was totally fine. because I'm using this. I don't need the box for anything. This is one of those knives where I'm not even planning on trading ever or anything. Of course, I said that with this, but I traded for just a bigger version. This is a forever knife for me. And I'm not even kidding. This is just one of those knives that I want in my permanent rotation. You know what I mean? I have a handful of knives that I just really dig. This is one of those. I just think it's awesome. It's just, what stands out is it's so lightweight, and it's even more impressive with a bigger knife like this, because the bigger the knife, the heavier normally it would be. But this, I think, I don't know offhand the specs on this. I probably should have, looked that up before the video, but it's almost negligible. You know what I mean? It wouldn't even make a difference if it was point something, ounces different. Let's say, just in holding them, like, yeah, okay, it's a tiny bit heavier, but like, it's just so insignificant. It doesn't matter, and you have that much more blade. So it's just, I totally dig it. Right, this one happens to have 2 standoffs. This one has 1 just because of the size. I can show that to you. So yeah, I mean, I'm totally into it. The tagged out, or Taggedout, if you want to be different. Different's not always good. I do also like the little shorty pocket clip. I do EDC these. I have EDC'd the first one anyway. This one I obviously will start EDCing. The smaller clip, we'll see what the difference is on the smaller knife as compared to the larger knife, but it's totally fine. At least it was on the small one, so I don't think it's gonna be a problem. It's running on a little bit of a textured scale there, but it's not like it's super tight or anything, so we'll see. I mean, in fact, let me just show it in my pocket right now. I've been playing with it ever since I got it. Let me clip it in. I mean, it grabs nice. Yeah, I mean, it does not, let me do that again. It's not going to be one of those things where it's loose out of the pocket, unless that pocket clip, of course, gets hyperextended on something. Yeah, I mean, it feels good, but it's definitely retaining in there. Putting it in, just like a lot of different knives, I end up, because it is a little bit of tight squeeze putting it in initially, so I do this thing where I just use it to my nail as I'm pushing it. I ever so slightly lift it. It's just to get it over the edge of the seam on the pants pocket, and that's it. It's just smooth gliding right after that. But yeah, I dig it. If I could change something about this knife, it's tough because I like the slot. The slot, you have to kind of come in on a I don't know, a steep angle. If you're just sliding across, like, it's not as easy. You can easily slip over it. I've done that a couple times with the smaller one. I don't think it's just because it's smaller, but it's just, I don't know. I just take it out of the pocket, go to open it, and it's just because of where my thumb is, I'm hitting the top instead of catching the edge. You know what I mean? Being larger, it's obviously just a hair wider, which actually would help with that, I would assume. We'll know more, when I actually start carrying and using it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be an issue in the large one. Although, again, I'm really nitpicking here. I'm just thinking out loud. Would I like a thumb stud on this? I don't know. Maybe. It just kind of depends. I just wish the blade stuck out more so that the slot was just a slight bit wider. That's all. But I mean, it is what it is. It's not an issue. It's just, again, nitpicking. And of course, I'd love this in a variety of colors, so I don't have to have orange. You know what I mean? I'd like to have... there's a bunch of different colors, I guess. It'd have to be that more popular. But I know this is part of like their Hunt series, so they pitch that, Hunter's orange or bright stuff or camo stuff or wood. I get it. It's just part of that series. It's appealing more to traditional hunting knives and what people, I guess, expect out of that. But, what is traditional anymore, right? You can definitely hunt with whatever you want. But I get it. I totally get it. It's just high vis. You're hunting. You're in the woods. You have a really expensive knife. You want to use it. Oh, I dropped it. And you got to be able to find it easy, right? So that makes sense. Now, when you go with the wooden stuff and the camo, obviously it makes it harder to find, but it's more of that classic kind of look. So that's why they're not going with, carbon fiber and stuff for the most part. You know what I'm saying. So I dig it. Definitely, I prefer the bigger one. And this actually brings me to a good question for you guys. What do you prefer? Because there's so many knives out there where there really are 2 size options. I mean, classically, we have the Endura and the Delica, of course, the Endura being the larger version, the Delica a smaller version of essentially the same knife. We have it, with Benchmade with the Griptilian traditionally. Growing up, it was always that, what's better, the mini grip or the full-size grip? And then it went on to a million different blade options that people like to prefer. Then, of course, there was like the Ritter grip with the better steel and so forth. But when it comes down to it, when there's a knife you like and there's a large and a small option, and it's usually about this size difference. It's not dramatic. It's not like a teeny tiny thing in a monster, It's usually just about an inch or so. What do you prefer? Do you guys prefer the larger? Do you prefer the smaller one? Does it depend on your hand size or just preference? Because there's definitely dudes with small hands who like really big knives. It's just they prefer bigger knives. Sometimes maybe it has to do with pocket space and maybe the type of clothing you wear, you know, whether you're comfortable handling a big knife, whether you want the attention of a bigger knife. Some people definitely prefer smaller knives overall to kind of draw less attention. It might have to do with your work environment. You know, maybe, you know, you don't really want to whip out a big, scary looking knife and, you know, get attention that way. So there's a lot of factors there. It's not a simple thing. But for me, again, having bigger hands and just, you know, I could do small cutting tasks with a large knife. I can't do large cutting tasks with a small knife. Now, again, this is almost insignificant, the difference. It's not like, oh, this can cut so many more things than this. It's not like that. I'm saying in general, I wouldn't mind a larger version of anything, really. It's just more blade to me. But, hey, it is what it is. So let me know in the comment section, do you prefer the small ones or do you prefer the big ones? Just curious. But that's all. Thanks again to the person who offered the trade. I very much appreciate it. I absolutely love this knife, and now I'm going to love this knife. Just a little bit more of it. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Take care.